What are the disadvantages of Singapore citizenship over permanent residency status? So, the main point here, what we are discussing, is basically what factors you should consider before taking a decision of applying for Singapore citizenship. So, there are few points which you need to really consider carefully because, in case of obtaining citizenship, you are going to give up your existing citizenship of your home country and you are obtaining new citizenship. So, in a way, your way or your benefits of your home country are going to go away. That is not a case in case of a PR. When you obtain permanent residency, your citizenship still remains of your previous home country. And that is the reason I feel that you should consider these factors. So, if we consider this citizenship path, we are talking of this journey which I am highlighting by this arrow from permanent resident, whether you should become citizen. So, the first point to note here is that dual citizenship is not possible in Singapore. Some of the countries in the world, like Australia, Germany, UK, US, I think Canada also, they allow dual citizenship. So, it is possible to become citizen of two countries and hold two passports. In that case, as a citizen of both those countries, you can reap benefits of whatever are available to the citizens of those countries. However, Singapore law clearly states that a dual citizenship is not allowed. And what that means is you will be giving up your home country citizenship. So, if you are from Canada and if you are applying for Singapore citizenship as a PR here, then if approved, you will have to give up your Canadian citizenship. So, you will have to go to Canadian embassy, renounce your citizenship, get a letter, and with that letter, then you will have to proceed for obtaining Singapore citizenship. This is after you have received the in principle approval letter from ICA. And what that means is, if your home country gives you any benefits, those benefits will be lost. So it depends on country to country. For example, I know some of Nordic European countries like Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and I think Norway, and many similar countries give good old age benefits. They provide pensions, free medical. So if you have plans that after your working life is over, after you have retired, if you plan to go back to your home country from where you actually came, for example, you were from Canada, and if you plan to go back to Canada, then you will have to keep it in mind that those benefits possibly will not be available to you unless you really obtain the citizenship back. Moving on to the next slide, obviously we know that national service is compulsory in Singapore for the second generation migrants. So the first generation migrant who comes from respective countries becomes a PR or citizen, they don't have to serve national service. But their children, male child, will have to compulsorily do national service at the age of 18. Now, this responsibility is there for PR also. So, as a permanent resident, also the child is subject to this national service. However, it is possible that in case the child does not want to do the national service, then in that case he may not renew his REP in a specific period of time and then that liability may not arise. Enlistment Act says that at the age of 12, if the child is a PR or citizen, then the national service liability arises. So, if a child is not keen on doing national service, then before the age of 12, they can let their PR status expire and this liability will not come. However, you cannot do this when you are a citizen because renouncing citizenship to avoid national service is not easy. First of all, renouncing citizenship is not easy. And secondly, if it is done, it will be taken in a very negative manner. Then the authorities might say you should have thought before applying citizenship whether national service you are going to do or not. Moving on to the next slide, then, the next disadvantage is of CPF withdrawal limit. I guess everybody knows about the CPF scheme where every month a part of person's salary is deducted and employer contributes some more amount and deposits it into CPF account. Now, from age 55, you will start getting annuities. So, for example, let's say that your CPF total balance is, let's say, $400,000. Then, maybe depending upon the calculations, which CPF board has some calculators on their website, you start getting maybe $2,000, $3,000 for your retirement. So, every month that money will come into your account and it is used for the payment of expenses. Now, if you are a PR and if you do not renew your re-entry permit, then you can withdraw this money fully in lump sum in one shot. As a citizen, this is not possible unless you give up citizenship. So, what happens if you are planning to go back to your home country after the retirement and don't want to really stay in Singapore? Then remaining on PR might be beneficial, because in that case, you can let your PR cancel and withdraw that full money and go back to your home country. So these are some of the factors, and consider these factors carefully before applying for citizenship. As I mentioned, in case of PR, you still keep your home country citizenship. And PR is to be renewed every 5 years. So in case you don't renew, if your plan changes, then it's okay, not a problem. But here, in case of applying citizenship, you are giving up your home country citizenship. And if you want to really go back to the previous status, you will have to apply it in your home country to get that citizenship back and then renounce Singapore citizenship. So this decision needs to be taken with a careful deliberation.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel today. PR Application is a leading immigration consultancy company in Singapore.